good on YouTube, and I think if I can get this working, we're good on Instagram. Yeah, right. Here we go. Hopefully it doesn't shit itself. And of course we're gonna have issues with Elgato. Hang on. Never need you. Hey mate, how you going? As soon as I've just turned this stream live, my camera feed is dropping out. What's going on here? Gotta fix that before we can continue. All right. Classic, absolute classic. How many times has this happened when I've gone live? Here we go. All right, we're back online. Let's do this. And this is the first time I've gone live on Instagram. I didn't even know I could do this. So I'm on 3 platforms at once. How wild is that? Alrighty. Let's get stuck into a few things, hey? So I've got a fair bit on the desk at the moment. We're going to work on this Necron because this is where we got to with our other model. And I posted that on my Instagram the other day. So we're going to replicate that and do another one of these bad boys with this. And this was the test model, and I've sort of redone it to where we're at now. So a bit more work needs to be done on it before we can get it looking like the other one that I just showed. But never need you. Going to the Warhammer store tomorrow to collect Mini of the Month. It's a Termagant. Very nice, mate. Go grab your free Mini. Okay, now this is quite a fun step because it's pretty quick, it's pretty messy, and it gets the job done. So we're just dry brushing, kind of stippling really, this green oxide over a base of dark jade. So this is going to act as that sort of corroded metal effect later on when we dry brush over the top. You're going to play Kill Team afterwards, never need you. Very nice. What color are you going to paint up your Termagant is the main question. Got a particular hive fleet in mind, or your own choice? Jay over on Instagram. This thing's cool, what is it? Well, we're painting some Warhammer. And specifically I'm painting a Necron destroyer. But yeah, it is pretty fun. TB, we're back, baby. We sure are. And I've expanded my platforms. I'm now on 3. TikTok, YouTube, and now Instagram. Giving that one a shot. Don't really have many paints to choose from. Oh, look, you can get creative. Never need you. Don't let that stop you. Mix and match. Did I miss the underside of the sword? Well, not really. This sword was a practice test model. I think I might have done it on stream a little while back. But this is what we painted up the other day. TB, I don't know if you were on that one or the the Deathwing Terminator that we did. But this is what we're going to end up with, hopefully, is going to be the end result. So yeah, I'm just sort of repainting this test model because it wasn't quite what the client was after. It was a bit too clean, which was totally valid. Like, I feel like Necrons are meant to be quite ancient looking, so happy to do this tweak. That's why I always do sort of test models anyway, like on one of the first models that I'm doing for a project. All right, so that step is done. I'm going to move to turquoise. So all these paints are pro acryl that I kind of paint this metal color with, except for one, and we'll get to that in a moment. Case normal, I never got into Warhammer, but I did think the models are really cool. Never too late to get into it, but yes, the models are very cool. Indeed. Gorp, nice to see another stream. Nice to have you back in here, mate. Thanks for tuning in. So as I said, we're just hitting it with the dry brush. Kind of frayed bristles, as you can see, and using it with the stippled motion to get the corroded underlay effect. Engineering Landon, hello my friend, how are you? Hello Pax Laboratories. This creature in my hand is a Necron Destroyer. I think it's this. Is it the Skoptek? I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it starts with S, Skoptek or something like that. That we are painting up, and it will join its brother in its final form like this. And we should get fairly close, I think. I painted that up last time in about 2 hours. Let's see if I can get a bit closer, because I say do it quicker, I should say, because I've actually done half of the model before repainting this portion of the armor. So we might be able to speed run it. Skorpek, there you go. Thank you, Nevenichu. Skorpek Destroyer. Oh, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it, Pax. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how this is looking, this blue. Now, I'm going to rinse out my brush and swap to another one, the one that I've been doing with the silver brassy tones. Planning on starting a Necron army? Oh, you definitely should. They're fun to paint, they're quick to paint, but they look really cool, I reckon. So definitely get amongst it if you're thinking about it, mate. So, next paint, dark bronze, is the one that we're going to be using. Dabbing off the excess, ready to start the dry brushing process. So we're going to go fairly heavy with the dry brush, but not so heavy that you obviously destroy everything that you've done underneath. So we want some of that nice sort of turquoise blue colors to come through, like so. And I'm just going to be kind of careful. I just would rather not just wreck the blade that I've done previously, just in terms of time, so try and be a little bit careful with that. But we should be alright. Purple instead of the green. I'm assuming you're talking about the blade there, Nevenichu. Jack Armstrong, is that Army Painter gunmetal? No, mate, it is this dark bronze from Pro Acryl. And happy with how that's looking. It's looking well weathered. Purple instead of green for the future Necron army. Nice choice, mate. I reckon like a red as well. I think red looks really cool. Like the Terminator look for Necrons. I've seen that done before and I'm a fan of it. Honestly, any neon color looks sick. Pink. That looks pretty cool. You can do any color as long as it's really vibrant, and it will look really good against sort of the dark, rusty metal, I reckon. But purple, good choice. How very regal of you. Okay. Gamer unit looks fuck great. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Okay. Now that's the first layer of bronze done. We're now going to add a slightly brighter. True. It still looks good though. Whatever you know what I'm talking about. The fluoro colors from the fluoro range that people use. So I just did that off screen. Spartan bronze. This is the one that is not a Pro Acryl paint. It kind of adds just a little bit of warmth to the metal, which will then get kind of washed out again with a future step, but it kind of just adds a little bit more variety, which I think is good. Otherwise you're a little bit too desaturated in the steel colors, or the metal colors rather. So again, you can kind of stipple, you can kind of dry brush, as long as you're just getting a little bit of that paint on, but not so much that you are destroying the work underneath. You gave me a bit stoned. Enjoy yourself, mate. Have you ever tried a makeup sponge for dry brushing? I haven't, but I've seen a few fellow hobbyists use it. Looks very cool. I use sort of the makeup sponge, makeup applicators for the redactive technique, so when working with enamels and stuff like that. But not for sort of dry brushing or like blending paints with like a beauty blender type thing. But looks interesting. Clippy, thank you. Appreciate it. Kind words of support. See you, gaming unit. Appreciate it. Catch you next time, mate. TB, make it look so easy. It's crazy good work you do. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Alrighty, where is the other paint that I need? Here it is. So we're at almost the final stage. and we're going to use light bronze from Pro Acryl. Look at Slapchop. Yeah, seen a bit of Slapchop. The actual Slapchop is not to my liking, like the OG sort of just quick speed painting. But I've seen, is it Swarm Painting, I think his name is, on YouTube and Instagram. Might be him, who does some really good work with the sponge method. I think it's Swarm, like I can't really remember his name. Nobby Styles, thanks mate. Welcome back to the hobby after a bit of a hiatus. So as you can sort of see there, it's really kind of desaturating that Spartan bronze that we put down. But I think it really works for the color that the client wants. So that kind of really light brass bronze color. So that'll probably do that in terms of the dry brushing. It's this ASMR. Can be whatever you want, mate. Jake Smith, long time no see, mate. How you going? Mark is asking, am I only painting Necrons today? Not sure. Earlier today, offline, I'll show you what I was working on. Where did I put him? I finished a rhino for another client. I'm just going to go get it so I can show you. It's just a sort of other commission that I'm working on. Very close up, but super quickly. This was painting up this little rhino for the Black Legion. You can see the oil paints are still wet, so they won't be shiny when they're finished, and it's very zoomed in. But yeah, did a little bit of freehand. That was fun. Yeah. So this will be pretty much done. It's at a tabletop, premium tabletop standard. Yeah, happy with that. And then I was also painting up these guys, just touching up. So I finished this little Chaos Lord. This guy has lots of green in his Black Legion army. So he likes green in terms of the magic and the energy effects. So that's what we've done there. And same here on this little sorcerer dude. Yeah, so I was touching those guys up with a few other bits of feedback that I received. So happy with that. And I just thought I'd show you this guy because I was quite happy with how the leather turned out on this executioner, same army that I'm working on. But yeah, quite happy with that. Oh, that's good, Jake. Good to hear. Tank, hey mate, do you play paint or both? Mainly paint. I'm not really much into the gaming aspect of the hobby. Much prefer the painting. Are these for Warhammer? They sure are. Do I do this for a living? No, I do this as a bit of a side hustle and some fun. I work full time, so no, not for a living. How was my holidays? It was good, mate. It was really good. I got a bit of time to relax. I did get sick over Christmas, which was not great, but it was going around. So other than that, it's a good time. Hope yours was too. Did you paint them or make them? Ashish. I'm just painting them. I did put them together, but not printing them or making them from scratch, of course. Any tips from you on camera and stand setup? Killjoy, this is my, if you're asking what you're seeing the model through, it's just my phone, and I'm using an iPhone 14. And stand, just Google desktop stand. I think I got this from like Amazon or something for like $20 or whatever. Fairly cheap. Just like a C, I think it's called a C clamp stand or something like that for phone, mobile phone. You'll see something there if you look that up. Gareth over on Insta, how are you, mate? Long time no see. No speak, I should say. Hope you've been doing well. Tanks does both. He's got a 2,000 point Salamander army. Another Salamander fan. I feel like most people in the chats when they join are Salamander fans. It's crazy how many of them there are that come my way. Alrighty. I'll probably do the edge highlighting a little bit later. I'm going to fill out the rest of the silver, which is up here on my desk. Never how do I do my Deathwing? I can't seem to nail a method down. So, can't remember if you were in the last stream, which is when I did this one. I painted up this guy on stream for the most part, but the armor was done through an airbrush. And what did I use? I used this. What's the other paint? Here it is. So, Deathwing, basic armor recipe, grey-brown as the base coat, mid-tone, Vampire Fang from Two Thin Coats, and then sort of extreme highlight, cream white from Vallejo. And that sort of got that blended effect there. And then what I did was come in with, I think it was Dark Oath Flesh, I think it was this one, into the shadow areas. Like that's where the sort of warmth comes from. Like down in here you can sort of see there and there and there. Just to sort of bring back, otherwise it's a bit too white looking, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and then obviously a coat of streaking grime kind of stains the armor to make it look a bit bony, but then also acts as your sort of recess shade. So double whammy, so good. Another Salamanders fan. It's a cool destroyer. Thank you, Machine. Rulebook is thick. Yeah, that's why I don't touch the rule books. That's why I don't play the game. Too many rules, too many dice. I'd rather just sit and paint. All right, so let's continue with the silver. So in the joints, we're going to be using burnt iron as the metal color of choice. Eclipse Ortis, Salamanders for life. Told ya. I feel like every second person in here is a Salamanders fan. Dell is interested in watching a match. It's been around 10 years. I feel like there's heaps. Like the battle reports and all that sort of stuff that you see on like YouTube and whatnot. Not my cup of tea, but you do you. I really like the metal color series of Vallejo. As you can sort of see, super smooth paint. It just runs where you want it to go without being too watery. The only problem is I use a wet palette. I don't have room for multiple palettes on my desk. Ideally, you'd put it on a dry palette, because what happens is it tends to split. If you see it here, like this is not great. You kind of want to then mix it back up again for it to be its proper color. So that can cause problems. You just got to be aware of that if you're using a wet palette and the metal color series. But I use it enough to sort of know now how it behaves. Just a quick little tip for you, if you were curious. You should try play on tabletop. Lots of videos explaining rules. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's lots out there, lots of resources. Just got to find the time and the energy to do it. Poggers. I've got into Warhammer recently with the Death Guard. Very cool so far. Nice, mate. Good army to choose. Stinky boys. You can have a lot of fun with them, with the effects and the blood effects and the pus and the grossness. It is good fun. Jackal, thank you very much. Appreciate it. The unholy grandfather indeed. Papa Nurgle. There is a rock. Nice highlighting. Thanks, dude. That's why Necrons are so fun, because you can get a great result with not a whole lot of effort. Blade is killer. Thank you, dude. We still got a lot of work to do, but I know there's a fair few new people in there. This is what he's going to end up looking like. This is the end result of one of my other Necrons that we've done. So yeah, we might get around to painting the blade as well very soon. If you want to have a look at that, that will probably be able to be done on stream. Not too far away. And there is a rock. Thank you for the heart. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you as well for the gumdrop buttons. You're a legend. Do I know Bolt Gun? I've seen it. I've seen the artwork. Very like Doom inspired, but I haven't played it. Handsome Fish. Hello. Hello, hello. Nurgle was the first one to have his trigger word be shower. Exactly right. And hello, Kev. How you going, mate? Good to see ya, as always, supporting me. We are nearly done with the silver, which means we can go on to painting that sword. Guess which army I paint? Or I'd have no idea. I'd have to say Nurgle or Salamanders. One of those two. Nice character, incredible. Thank you, thank you. You guys are too kind. Emperor's Children, hey? Someone say Emperor's Children? I got one here on my desk. They are also, it's a bit dusty. A fun one to paint up. But yeah, love the skin effects that you can do with Emperor's Children. But the purple is always a good scheme. Purple and gold. Can't go wrong with it. Curious in your thoughts on the Army Painter Fanatics metallic paints like Mithril Gunmetal, Cobalt Metal and Greedy Gold. I haven't actually tried them, Killjoy, so I'm not too sure how they perform. I have a few of like the new sort of speed paints, which I enjoy, but the metallics, yeah, can't tell you, sorry, because I haven't tried them out myself. Because I have quite a few metallics already, which I really like, so haven't felt the need to pick them up and swap to Army Painter. Okay. Chaos Space Marines, I love them. Oh yeah, what paint brand do I use? I use heaps of paint brands, not just one particular one. I use Vallejo, Pro Acryl, Tooth and Coats, Citadel, AK, Army Painter, heaps. Scale 75, I'm looking at the ones up here. Yep, you name it, I've pretty much tried it. Look, genuinely a goated painter. Thanks, Deno. Cheers, brah. Purple gold. Thank you, thank you. Non-metallic metal all the way. Who needs metallic, says Matt. Now, funny you say that because I've always sucked at non-metallic metal and I've been practicing. And this is a practice model that I did, which I'm fairly happy with the result. It's obviously not finished. I was just practicing on like his chest and like this side of his trim. Yeah, bit of non-metallic metal for you. You can see here, obviously stopped and didn't continue, but was happy with the result. Just wanted to practice, which I will put into practice soon. Because on my commission, I've got a, what's he called? Lehman Russ, Horus Heresy, and I think it's going to be painted to a very high standard if I can try. Chaos Space Marines and Grey Knights. Good combo, mate. Pretty much sworn enemies. Alrighty, so let's move on to this sword here. What was it called again? Phase sword? Hyper phase sword or something like that? I think that was the name of it. Because I'll tidy up, I guess, a little bit of the armor and stuff later or off stream. Hyperphase glaive. Yeah, something choppy. Big chopper. Nice rock. That's a great plan. Make a good diorama. Should look good. Okay. Brushes have been licked. Paints are getting ready. Let's paint this weapon, shall we? I'm missing one. What am I missing? Yeah, that's it. There we go. Okay, so we've done the base coat already. I might do this one over here. It's easier to see on camera just to start with. Now what we need to do is kind of sketch in where we want the highlights. Salamanders when? I feel like I'm never going to do it now because everyone that is in the chat likes salamanders, so it'd just be hilarious to never paint them. Okay. So, sorry, I forgot to show you. The greens that we're going to use to get this are dark green from Vallejo and Scorpy green as well. And then to get even brighter bits, I just add a little bit of this pale yellow from AK. I mean, any yellow would do, but that's what I'm using. Hell yeah, do I drink the paint water? Delicious. Nutritious diet. Okay. So kind of using a mix of the Scorpy and the dark green. Let's begin by thinning the paint a fair bit and sketching out where we want these highlights to be. It's kind of going to replicate what's on this one there. So we kind of want it, keep it on screen for you, kind of up here, like that. And then down here, so the middle on the right hand side will be the dark bit, and then we kind of want to flip it on this side, so we want that to be the opposite. Alright, Nevanichu, thank you so much for sticking by and saying hello once again. Take care, my friend. Okay. Sketching that in. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. See you later. Now, we're going to go a little bit brighter with that Scorpy green color. And it's trying a little bit slow, which is not great. But kind of go a little bit brighter here where we can. Doesn't matter if the coverage is not good because we're going to probably do like 1,000 passes. And I'm going to turn the fan up in my room because it's getting hot. You may get a little bit of wind noise, so apologies for that. But this will also help with the paint speeding up. Let me know if it's too annoying and I can turn it off. Okay. The reason I'm waiting for it to dry fully is if you try and paint over that while certain sections are not fully dry, you risk tearing the paint and then you kind of rip it back to its base layer and whatnot, which is shit and really hard to kind of fix because then you get kind of different texture levels because you're kind of going back to a lower level of paint. It's just dog shit, so try and avoid that if you can. But yeah, obviously there's wet blending when two bits of paint are wet, but that's a little bit different because you're kind of working at the same time. I joked about non-metallic, but dang, doing wet blending is beyond me. Ended up with selling planetary painterly style for much of what I do. It's all good, Matt. I mean, yeah, I mean, whatever you find cool and is rewarding for you, do that, you know? Like the non-metallic metal, honestly, I avoided it for so long because it's fucking hard, you know? So we're almost like glazing at the moment. And this is where I'm going to kind of just go back and forth, because that's really how you get the blended effect. What I might do if I were to have paint lots of these, I'd just whip out the airbrush and just call it a day, and you could do the blends super quickly. But I think it's good to practice these skills, you know. They come in handy in other places like non-metallic metal where you need to blend. So yeah, if you want to look at what my palette is looking like, that's the patch that I'm pulling from. So you got Scorpio Green kind of pure on the left, pure dark, and then I'm just kind of mixing in between here. Necrons, pasta sauce, awesome dude, thank you. Appreciate it. You just missed the blue hues. We started with a base coat of like a dark blue color. If you wanted to go back and watch the stream afterwards, you will be able to see pretty much from start to finish how it's done. Only took us like 15 minutes, not even. It's really quick. Cool. I think this side of the blade is maybe a little bit too dark, so we're going to kind of pull out that brighter green bit and make it a bit wider. I feel like it's a bit too dark on either side. Let's feather this out a little bit, blend it in. That's a bit better. No worries, Buster. Plastic, I love painting plastic. It's easier than resin or metal. But yeah, this is injection mold plastic. Matt, heading out. I'll probably be back sometime. No worries, my friend. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. You ever try Pro Acryl? And if yes, what's your take on it? It is fucking fantastic, mate. That's my take on it. Most of this model to date has been painted with Pro Acryl. They make some really, really good paints. Yeah. Like the metals was pretty much done with Pro Acryl. Warhammer or War Machine? Warhammer, dude. The best. Naturally. Okay, looking all right. Let's try and make those kind of bright ends a little bit more bright. The real magic doesn't happen until later when you start the edge highlighting. That's when you see it all really start to come together. It's one of the most satisfying parts of doing this, is that the edge highlighting. $70 back in 2013 for Warhammer minis. I never played. Should have bought Warhammer, man. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. It's expensive. Very expensive. Giga Chad, how you doing, mate? It's been a while since I've seen you live. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming back and dropping by. Been away with work and life stuff, so I haven't gotten around to doing much live stuff for quite some time. Gareth, titanium white is godly. It is, mate. How good. Such a great paint. It's the best white on the market by far. Blood for the Blood God. Hey mate, how you going? Good to see you again. Okay. Getting very close now on this. And what I will do finally is just add that little bit of yellow. It just adds that little bit more of a punch to the model, and that green kind of brings it to that even limey green color. I got that Raphael Kalinske 0404, just wondering if the spreading of the bristles after a while is normal. They shouldn't be spreading. If they're spreading, it likely means you're getting paint up into the ferrule, which is like up here in the metal part, like behind where the bristles, because then they get little, what do you call them? Like, I'm gonna, crumbs is coming to head, but I mean, like bits of paint get dry in there, and then that pushes the bristles apart. So you're maybe not cleaning the brushes quite as well as you think. Maybe you give them a good soak and they might clear up a little bit. Where do I get my brushes? I get my brushes from my local game store. Combat Company is the closest one for me here in Sydney. And using Raphael Kalinske Sable. Great brushes. Yeah, no worries, dude. You're welcome. I'll show you, because this is an old Kalinske Sable brush. Like, this one here is quite old, and you can see it doesn't really have a tip on it anymore, right? It's because I haven't been taking care of it. And this is a similar size, also not getting the greatest of care, but they're not split because there's not paint dried in here, if you know what I mean. Ben, new painter here. What race class is beginner friendly? I think Space Marines are built to be beginner friendly. That's why they're in the starter kits. And I'd say these guys here, if you're starting to painting, Necrons are super easy to paint. And they look cool. And you don't have to know fancy techniques to make them look cool. So yeah, painting wise, lore wise, do whatever the hell you want. And also non-lore wise, whatever you think looks cool, as someone else said in the chat. So I'm just glazing in a little bit into this yellow mixed green to the real very ends and hottest parts of the sort of blade. And then let's blend it in a little bit. Come on. I got the fan on too high now and everything's drying on my wet palette. Yikes. I can't survive otherwise, it's too fucking hot. Alright, that's getting to a decent spot. Dwayne, do you have a favorite brush, like you used it more than the rest? The one I'm using right now is a Raphael Kalinsky Sable size 0. I paint almost all my minis using this one brush, and if I need a bit bigger size, I'll just use size 1. These are the two brushes that I can paint 99.9% of my models with. Elliot, sorry I missed that one. What's your advice on getting into painting minis? Any particular recommendations of beginner minis and starting paints? I think I said about the minis earlier, but starting paints, the Citadel are decent paints, like you can't go wrong with them. But, you know, as you kind of get more into the hobby, you could look at other ranges, but if you're just starting, you don't even know if you're going to stick in the hobby, you know? So you kind of want something that's not too hard to get your hands on. I was going to say not expensive, but I mean, all hobby equipment's pretty expensive. But yeah, Citadel's like everywhere, so, and they're decent for what they are. Just a little bit expensive. Okay, let's do some edge highlighting now, because I can always go back and fix out the blending a little bit later. But I just wanted to show you why the edge highlighting is such a cool step, because it just really brings together all that work that we've done. It makes it look cool. And edge highlighting, as you've seen me do, use the side of the brush where you can. You don't want to try and trace it by pushing down. Just let the brush do the work and pick up the edges. That's what it's there for. Did I paint the Space Wolves Wolf Guard head takers yet? I didn't, Yugyaz. They kind of fell to my pile of shame and they're in a drawer somewhere. Maybe one day I'll pick them up and do them again, but probably not anytime soon. Is it recorded? We're recording live right now, mate. but this is not pre-recorded. Do you like the idea of painting metallics or non-metallic paints? That's kind of your big decision, Elliot. Exactly right. It's hot. Where are you? I'm in Sydney, but I'm in my little office, and with the computer and all these lights on, it's a bit warm, you know. Jasmine, you got it, man. Your models look so good. Citadel top, well top-ish. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Look, they're pretty much everyone's first entry range of paints when they get into Warhammer, because, you know, if you walk into a Games Workshop or Warhammer shop, they're the ones that are on the shelf. They're the ones you're going to get sold, you know, so you kind of get used to them. So you do have to kind of trace a little bit here, just because the areas are a bit too small. You can't really use the sides of your brush. So you just gotta practice your brush control for these little areas. And you're never gonna get it 100% right, but you can always go back and touch it up later if you make mistakes, which I do all the time. I'm just doing this so you can sort of see how it all starts to come together once you lay down these edge highlights. Well, what is this TikTok making me do? Puzzles. Stop me from quitting the live. Yeah, cool, thanks. Dwayne, wish I could show you. Yeah, I wish I could see it. If you wanted to, mate, I've got a Discord. And that goes to anyone that's interested. I can't share it on TikTok, but I can share it on YouTube. Let me see if I can do that. If anyone is keen, you are more than welcome to join our Discord where we share pics of our models. What's the hardest mini to paint for you? Asked Mark. Hardest model? I don't know. Honestly, couldn't tell you. I think painting a lot of skin is annoying after a while. I know that definitely gets challenging because skin's hard to paint. So when you got all these shirtless dudes that you're trying to paint, when you paint 10 of them, it gets tiresome. That's for sure. So yeah, look at that. I mean, that looks pretty decent. It's almost on par with that. Probably not as refined because we've still got a bit to do, but not too shabby for not a whole bunch of time when you think about it. Beautiful evening here on Magnetic Island, Queensland. Oh, nice. Nice spot. I was just up in Brisbane yesterday. Flew back yesterday night. Emperor protects. The Emperor does protect.
The Emperor protects, brothers. For the Emperor.
I've only played Warhammer once, but I love painting my brother's minis. Owen, that's the way. Painting is the way. Hell yeah. What I also like to do, and we can do it here, is just outline those kind of grooves in the blade just to give it a little bit more definition. So I'll just use a bit of black paint mixed in with a tiny bit of the green and water it down quite a bit. I think I might be out of my black. Nope, a little bit left in the tube. Awesome steady handwork. Thanks, mate. Okay, so I'm watering down the green and black on my wet palette. And the easiest way to do this would be with an oil paint, because it will find the cracks, run into them, and then you can wipe away your mistakes really easy. But you can also wipe away your acrylics if you're quick enough, which is what we're going to try and do. Try and be neat. But if we make mistakes, which we almost certainly will, we'll just wipe them away. So I'm going to try and trace in here. And I just have my wet sort of finger ready to wipe. There you go. See? Nice and easy. Now while I've got the paint on the wet palette, let's use this black and just touch up the areas where we got a bit of the silver and we don't want it. Blake, hello my friend, how are you? Ez, love the detailing. Thank you. Now, isn't that disappointing? Flip it round and we're back to square one. So we could do it all over again, but I don't know if I'll bore you with that. I think you get the idea. Can probably fix that up another time. Just having a look here, what else I need to do. Probably just quickly highlight up the black areas on the model. After I'm done touching up in places. Yep, looking all right. How did you get the gradient green look? As you just missed it, we painted that up on stream. So it started like this, and then we got to this result by glazing. I won't have time to paint another section now, as it's nearly midnight here and I'm gonna have to get to bed. But if you wanted to, you can jump on my YouTube and look at my previous live stream, or when this one ends, and you can see exactly how we did it. It didn't take too long. I don't know how long. I'm going to say maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But yeah. That's what I did forget on the sword, is the glints, but I'll wait to do that another time as well. Let's continue with what I said before and get these highlights done on the black, and then that'll probably have to call it a night for me. Brickhead looks amazing. Thanks, mate. So just using sort of a medium grey colour. We'll go in here with a highlight on the black areas. And I don't mind if they're a little bit rough as well, because it's obviously a weapon. It kind of gets scuffed and battered around a little bit. And I think being a little bit rough with the highlighting adds to that effect. I also would do a wash, an enamel wash of like a red sort of tone, rusty look. I did on a previous model. I think it's on the other one. That also helps tie it in as well. So yeah, if you stuff up, you can always touch it up, but I think I like a bit of a rough looking highlight on the black parts here. Yay, the Discord notifications. Yeah, look, we got Killjoy, we got Luke who's joined the server. Hell yeah, guys, welcome. I've got it muted onto the side because I've got too many things running at the moment. But welcome. Good to have you on board. Okay. Scratched and ancient. Exactly right, Killjoy. Dwayne, what's your YouTube channel so I can look it up? Exact same. I'm the same on all platforms. Hobby Fiend. I think it's called Hobby Fiend Official on YouTube, but same logo, same everything. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, website, all the same. That's one crisp looking Scorpack Destroyer. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. You might like his finished counterpart over here, because that's what he will end up looking like in all his finished glory. I really like the desert base that the dude wants. It's kind of that Martian orange looking base. Retribution, what's happening, mate? How you going? Am I licking the paintbrush? Owen, I certainly am. I am a certified paintbrush licker. What's good, dog? Not much at all. Hope you're doing well, mate. Could you explain how to edge highlight? Sure. I mean, at the moment, it's probably not the best example because, as I said a little earlier, we're doing scratchy highlights to kind of add a bit of a worn look on the damaged parts. But the main things to keep in mind is don't water down your paints too much when you're edge highlighting. You kind of want them almost straight out of the pot with a little bit of water. Use the edge of the brush where you can, which we did on here, just like that. When people say edge of the brush, it's just like letting that do the work. And keeping a nice fine tip by consuming the paint on your paintbrush and forming a tight pointy tip on your paintbrush. No worries, Killjoy. It's all good. There's no pressure to join any stream. Just pop by whenever you can. Paint your works in progress. That's what the Discord's there for. DJ, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Glad you like my models. And Ty, oh, look at that. Thank you for the rose. And thank you for, you know what's coming. The gumdrop buttons. Thanks, mate. Ricey, man, I need to get a 3D printer. How do you afford those Games Workshop prices? Well, my friend, what you do is you start commission painting, and then you don't have to pay for the models. People pay you. The only downside is you don't get to keep the models. And that's what I've been doing. All these guys I'll never see again, which is unfortunate, but yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of that highlighting bit. You'll see a few things here. I'm not licking my brush, Unk. And look at these new gen, not respecting the ways of their elders. Licking brushes is part of the hobby, mate. Get out, otherwise. Legend Gaming, how do you paint such thin lines? I just got Sable Brush and I still can't get the desired result. Legend, it's just practice, mate. You've got to, you know, take the time to put in the reps and keep practicing. Leonardo Diaz over on Instagram. It's the first time streaming on Instagram, so sorry if you have put a comment and I haven't seen it. I'm just trying to get used to the platform. But hello, my friend. How are you? But yeah, reps is all you need. It just takes time. It's like anything. You'll get better over time, but not at the start. You might be a bit disappointed, but just keep at it. Okay. That's where we got to. Happy with the result. What I'm probably going to do is paint the rest of this guy off stream. Yeah, I know a few of you guys are new here, and I often do this. It's like a little showcase, just to sort of show you the different models that I paint. So for you regular viewers, you probably see this quite a bit, but I like to just show off some of my previous models that I've done. It's a bit of fun. People like seeing finished models. So we've got an Ultramarine here, Imperial Fist. You see a few of these. I like painting yellow on Space Marines because it just looks really good. I think it stands out really good. Raptors. Love me some tactical boys. We've got a Black Templar over here. Always fun to paint the Black Templar shoulder pads. My white Black Templar, people say white Templars. I'm saying that this is a Black Templar who's got white armor. So what are you going to do about it? Yeah, fun one to paint too. Chaos. Let's drop the model. Oh, rip, hope he didn't break. Corn Berserker. Baby, this was fun to paint. Do like me some Chaos. What are the Egyptian ones again? They are the Necrons. They're the ones that we're painting up. ST paint jobs. Thanks, mate. Legend Gaming recommends synthetic for that over Sable. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, Sigismund. I'll show you these two. This one here finished up for a commission as well recently. Pretty happy with how he turned out. And one of my own ones. I've got a lot of these Death Rattle skeletons. I like painting these because they are super easy to paint. And it's just fun. Like I can paint this guy up in less than an hour and have him from start to finish, you know. Yeah, and I'm happy with the result. I've got a whole bunch of these and I want to paint up in my own time eventually. But that's probably going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. I might see you tomorrow. Might have a little bit of time during the day. I I've got an event to go to tomorrow night, so I won't be around. But between now and then, I hope you all have a great rest of your evenings. Good luck at the hobby desks, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.